pretty soon she'll understand. You don't know what it takes to be a man. Think you got it figured out, baby. You're the one the world can do without. Baby, you ain't nothing new. One day you're cheating, I will tell on you. And the beat goes on, baby. My life goes on without you. Did you think that I was gonna sit around and cry, wait for you to come back? No, the beat goes on, baby. My life goes on without you.
Yes, I. Sakai Malad, Prince Wadix, Prince Wadix, Prince Wadix, Prince Wadix. Pa pou an wete pa moun flen la yo manj a kite la vi. Apresye sa yo ka fe ko yo a pa mi nou jodi. La se mouve vale fe non nou ka krusife moun edi. Faut nous connaître pour meilleur, c'est pour nous tout ça bénéfice.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another episode of Creole Heartbeat. Today we're diving deep into the music industry, exploring challenges, opportunities, and a way forward for artists in Dominica and across the Caribbean. We are honored to have two incredible guests with us today, the talented singer and performer Michael Henderson and Dr. Kazime, who will bring his insights in the business side of the industry. I am your host, Julie Roberts. Stay tuned for an informative and live discussion. Good morning in the studio. My two great guests, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Very perfectly, very clearly. Mm-hmm. Welcome to DBS Radio and welcome to their Creole Heartbeat platform. I am really excited to speak on this with you. Just yesterday, I was speaking to a young man and I was telling him what the topic is going to be about today, and he's like, "Boy, we need that." You know how long I trying to burst.
I like that.
He tell me a long time he trying to burst since in high school. So this morning we're going to talk about the upcoming workshop that you have, and we're just going to have a little discussion about the music industry, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then further on in the show, we will be joined by a young lady from Bake That, where she will be speaking about her cookie business, her sweet business. I don't do sugar, but I'm looking forward to that sweet time of the show. All right, so let's get started. To Miss Henderson.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Mrs. Henderson. As to Mikkel, our songbird. Very often we especially with somebody with your history, we just think that everyone knows you, but it would be nice if you can give just a brief introduction to our audience, our listeners, and then Dr. Kazime can do the same. Just a brief introduction.
Well, hi, good morning to the listeners of DBS Radio, those of you listening on the radio and over social media, fans of Creole Heartbeat. My name is Michael Henderson. I'm a singer-songwriter from Grand Bay. I say this so often, like singer-songwriter from Dominica, that when I'm in Dominica, I have to say from Grand Bay. I've been performing for well over 25 years and in the music industry as a lead singer, member of a band, flautist. I've written for songs for other artists as well who have won competitions here, Cadence Lipso competition, finalists at the Calypso competition as well. I'm a former director of the Eastern Caribbean Collective Organization for Music Rights, vice president of the Association of Music Professionals, graduate of the Copyright X program at Harvard Law, and a farmer. Yes, that's why.
Nice. Remaining farmer.
Yes, so yes, that's a little bit about me and my background, and just so people understand who it is, and so they can actually probably lend some credence to what I say.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure someone found out that you're a farmer this morning. Okay, it's Miss Dr. Kazime.
All right, I am Dr. Barry Kazime. I'm the program officer at the UE Global Campus. I am from Collier. I have been in the education system for the past 20 years. It's amazing how time flies.
Yes.
My key responsibilities to development of programs, courses. I also deal with finance at the global campus. I love sports. I've been in many sports administration, held many portfolios as it relates to sports administration. And I like farming, but I haven't reached to where Mikhail is yet. But I hope to get there. Um, that's about it.
Okay, so as we can see, we have stalwarts. Mikhail is in the business for over 20 years, and so is Dr. Kazime. So let's jump right into it. Let's try understanding the industry. As someone who has experience across, as someone who has experienced success in the Caribbean music industry, this is for Mikhail. What do you think are the most important business skills that aspiring musicians need to learn?
Well, I think some of the fundamentals have to do with understanding your rights as a creator in the business, because that's your valuable product. We create content, we create works of art that we then sell to people, and so we have to be the controllers of that creative property. And I think that is one of the fundamental issues affecting the Caribbean, and particularly Dominica, I must say, because the rest of the Caribbean is kind of ahead of us on that, is that there's a lack of understanding of how our rights work and how it is we can leverage those rights to monetize our work. Yeah, so that's one of the key things. The other thing is to understand the different levels of collaboration amongst the practitioners in the industry. You know, what is the role of the performer? What's the role of the producer? Where do they fit in the grand scheme of things? Understanding those things, understanding exactly how a contract is constructed and what elements should be in there and what elements you need to look out for if they are in there that are not going to be in your best interest, or vice versa. Those kinds of things are important. Also, artists need to understand their image and how they can leverage that as well, you know, through endorsements and so on. So there's a lot to unpack in the in that question.
Yes.
But these are some of the topics that I would like to cover as part of the workshop, because I feel like a little bit more understanding. It's a one-day workshop, so we're going to try and cover as much as possible. But of course, this is by no means an exhaustive list of all the things you need to know about the music industry. But it would give you a good foundation, a good basic understanding of what it is you need as an artist or as a DJ, as a promoter, as a media person, to understand how the industry works so that you can fit into the whole machinery, and so the whole thing can work seamlessly.
Okay, so can you share from your career where knowing the business side of music made a significant difference?
100%. I have so many examples, but I can give you one. In contracts, I was able to put together my contracts with help from managers and help from other artists, where I have a very full, very comprehensive contract that I know is of international standards, and that helps me to put myself in a position as an artist to do my craft at the top of the ladder, the top of the scale, so that I don't get taken advantage of as many artists do. So that information has helped me in that area. Also with copyright, I've been able to challenge certain things that happened in the industry, because I understood the rights that I hold, and that I was able to wield that to my advantage and get paid for using my work, or even to get my work protected when someone actually tried to register my work as their own. So without those understandings, you kind of miss out on those things, and things can happen to you that you're not even aware of until many years later. And so if you have these pieces of knowledge under your belt, you can avoid many pitfalls in the industry.
Yeah, so I want to ask Mr. Kazime a question, but before I go over to him, we just spoke about copyright, and in today's world, you know, social media is a big thing, and very often we have to put a little disclaimer when, you know, like when you're making a video and you want to put a song. So let us say I want to put a Michael Henderson song over a particular video, and then I would put it on Facebook. and then they'll send you, only you can see this message, but half of your your video is muted.
Correct.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that.
Because the disclaimer actually doesn't work. I mean, people say it, and in the U.S. law, there is a provision that allows you to use a certain amount of music for, quote, educational purposes or for, archiving research. There are different ways that you can actually use the music without having to pay a license to do so, right? But these are selective. And so putting up a video on Facebook does not qualify for that. People do it, but it's actually, it does nothing. So Facebook knows this. Facebook is very much aware that they are liable if they broadcast music that they do not have authorization to broadcast. And so they will shut down your work or half your video because they are aware that this puts them in a position of liability. So you putting a disclaimer, I see that happen often. People put a disclaimer, I do not own this music. That actually does nothing. It doesn't prevent an artist or a creator or a rights holder from filing a claim against you.
But where I was going to go with it is that I find with many Dominican artists that you don't even have to put a disclaimer. You don't even have to put anything, and you're not flagged. So is there a copyright issue as to why Dominicans are not in the system that we can just use their music as we wish?
Well, that's our fault.
Okay.
This is our fault, is that our music does not form part of these global databases of music that are protected. So it means our music is unprotected.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
what's happening essentially. So unfortunately for us, a lot of our artists don't believe in the idea of joining a collections agency that would put that protection in place for you. And that's unfortunate, because the thing is, the reason why Facebook does that is because Facebook pays a license for music. So if there's music that is covered under the license, then they let it play because it's covered under the license. If there's music that's not covered under the license, then it gets blocked. So they don't have the rights to that song gets flagged by some algorithm that's monitoring the system. So what we really need to work on in the Caribbean as a whole, actually Caribbean and Latin America, is to have these agreements in place with these platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and so on, where the licenses are paid, and so people are free to use the music, and the artists and the creators, the rights holders, would get paid from those licenses.
Okay, so over to Dr. Kazime. I like to speak about things that are relevant, and I can relate to that, and a lot of our listeners, I'm pretty sure, can relate to that. But Dr. Kazime, so what are some common mistakes you've seen artists make when they're not familiar with the business side of things?
The music industry has evolved so much has changed as it relates to the music industry. I don't even believe many artists even understand the whole dynamics of the music industry. In 2000s or so, we saw horror stories, for example, in sync. They signed contracts, and when they at the end of the exercise, the managers made a lot of money, and they did not get anything. We saw TLC,
Right.
same situation.
Huge, yes.
And we see Mace, anybody who listens to rap, has been fighting with PDD to get his masters. All of those are very important elements as it relates to the music industry. Your contract, what your contract states, distribution, how do you distribute that music, and even the whole area as it relates to when you sign the contract, what the monies are for, and in some situations you use the money, utilize the money, but you don't know that part is your budget that you have to pay back,
Reimburse.
So all of those things that you have to look at. The other thing, which is the most important thing as it relates to the music industry, artists must exercise good money management. You need a good accountant, and you need a good lawyer. That you have to do that in this dispensation.
So it's not just about bursing.
Oh no. Bursing is a smaller aspect of the music industry.
That's correct.
You need the talent, one, but the other aspects as it relates to managing the whole your brand. If I'm to even look at branding, how you put yourself out there for sponsors, that is very important. What message are you carrying? How you look, how you're attired, all of those things are important. All of that forms part of what you're going to create. So when you're thinking of a particular genre of music, you have to figure out what look you're going to have to actually flow with that, and how sponsors are going to look at that. Who are you marketing for? Who are you catering for? So it's not just about your bursting, but you have to understand the business aspect of it, the legal aspect, the marketing aspect of it, how you're going to portray yourself, and also the distribution. We moved for, I remember in the 90s, we moved from having music distributed through cassettes, we moved through CDs, and now you move online now.
Streaming.
You're streaming now. I don't believe, Michael can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that we many Dominican artists benefit from the streaming.
Yeah, many artists all over the world don't necessarily benefit from streaming. It's not that they don't, it's just that we could benefit a lot more. So a lot of us are not positioned to actually benefit a lot from streaming. So first of all, a lot of the music isn't up on the platforms where you can get, not very many Dominican artists are on Apple or Spotify, as a matter of fact. There are, but not a few, but only a few.
Yes.
So that alone already puts us way behind in the race. But streaming itself internationally is still a very sort of problematic distribution for platform for music, because the streaming royalties are very small. So it's basically taken away a huge piece of the pie from the creators of music, because now the executives of the platforms are making all the money. The record companies who do get paid royalties are making the money, but then it doesn't trickle down to the creators as much as, let's say, sales of CDs and licensing would.
Okay, so Dr. Casimir, what area of the music business you think needs more focus in Dominica, and how will this workshop address them?
I think the business aspect of the music industry is the most important element for Dominican artists. This workshop is actually going to help the artists, or if it's a person who's actually want to enter the music industry, they will know key components as relates to copyright and publishing. That's very important. I was, just before we started, I give Michael that story. We had this artist, and we wanted to utilize his work. We wanted him to do something for us, and we had to pay him, and we had to pay the person who wrote the music. So all of those things there, in terms of the agreement between the artist and the writer, the artist has to know what are the agreements, what are the terms. The distribution, we were just speaking about distribution. So the artist, so if you want to be in the music industry, whether you're a DJ or you into music, the distribution element of it, you have to know what laws as relates to that. Live performance, the contracts, very important there too. How do you make your money as relates to live performance? And the last area, licensing, very important, and recording and contracts and endorsements. So many artists right now, they make a lot of money in terms of endorsements. A lot of companies want to utilize that particular person to actually sell their brand. We see that happening in Dominica right now. A lot of artists are being endorsed.
Yeah.
We want to be in a situation where more artists can benefit from that. But again, too, if you're going to be endorsed, you must have the right, you must know what the companies are looking for and how do you position yourself to be endorsed.
Okay, I want to get into music now. I feel like I'm getting all the information I need. I just have to learn to sing.
Well, you don't have to just do singing. I mean, there are different areas within the music industry that you can
True. We keep talking about the artists, right? But the music is such a vast field that there are many different careers. There's the producers, and you have the arrangers, and you have musicians themselves, and you have lead performers, writers, composers. You also have the legal team. You have accountants. So it's a wide range of skills that are needed for the whole entire machine to work well. So managers, promoters, everybody's involved.
And with that being said, that goes into my next question. How do you think the music business in Dominica differs from the region, and why is it important for artists to understand its differences? Because you see what you just said, there's so many artists, DJs, promoters here who do not have an accountant. They do not have maybe a bank account just for the earnings they get from the business. You know, there's so many things they do not have because it differs. So how do you think it differs?
Before I even go on, but it goes back to the importance of the business aspect of the business, of you as an entertainer or anybody in the music industry. So the first thing you would have to do is to register your business. Very important. People take you a lot more serious when whether it's your band or your company is registered. It's a registered entity. You then have to decide where you're going, whether it's a limited liability or you move in a different direction. All of those things are very important.
When you say limited liability, in layman's term,
yeah. So the benefit of a limited liability is that if someone sues your company, they sue the company but not you.
Okay.
In a rare situation, you can lift the corporate veil and they go for the directors. Rare situations. But the company by itself...
Business law 101.
The company by itself is its own individual person. So many people actually move into that direction. You have a limited liability company. So all of those things, as an artist, those are things that you have to understand. Do I want to have my own company and register it? The benefits of it. And then I move into my team, my legal team. Very important. Very, very important. Legal team is very important. The law, very important. Then you need an accountant to manage the money. So when you get the money, how to budget, how to account for it, and how to use that money.
And if you're going to have an LLC, you're going to have to pay taxes. So it's a good idea to... not you would have to pay taxes anyway without an LLC.
Yes.
But with an LLC, you have the benefit of being able to deduct many of your expenses as an artist from your net income.
Yeah.
From your gross income, sorry, and then so your taxable income probably would be much smaller as an LLC than it would be if you were just an individual filing taxes.
That is why you need the accountant.
So it's important to have an accountant. But anyway, these are very sort of intricate details of how to set yourself up as a business in any industry, not just music. But that part of the to answer the question that you asked particularly is that we in Dominica, many artists do not subscribe to the order of things. We watch other countries and we say, well, they're doing it well, but they are following a particular pattern that's already established in the industry. And so that pattern has been proven time after time to be successful and to earn the artists a good living, but we don't follow that pattern. We've I don't know, for some reason decided that we're unique and we're different and we want to do things differently. But the only way for us to actually succeed at this is to tie into the industry that already exists. The industry already exists. It has a tried and true formula. And if we learn the game, we practice the formula, then we can join that group of successful people. And now is the time, because the Caribbean music is, as you can see, is taking over the world just like Afrobeat. And so we have a unique opportunity here in Dominica to put these things in place and settle the industry so that artists coming from now and from the future already have the systems in place and they can just fall into the groove, and follow what has already been established. I'm not saying that people cannot innovate and create and do new things, but industries tend to have methodology, and so that industry works this way, and it's better that you learn how the industry works if you want to participate in it.
Yeah, and I think our music is definitely taking over. I hear our music everywhere, and I'm not just Dominican music, but Caribbean music everywhere. So in your opinion, what are the biggest opportunities that Caribbean musicians, and maybe I should say Dominican/Caribbean musicians, since we're here, in today, what are the biggest opportunities for Caribbean musicians on the global scene?
Me or Mr. Barry?
Any one of you.
Well, we have huge opportunities. We can see that Dominica's kind of cornered the carnival market.
Yes.
With bouillon music. Bouillon music has become the music of choice for carnivals all over the world. I'm talking about everywhere, from Canada to New York to England to Spain.
Toothblast.
Right. So bouillon music is like carnival music has become synonymous, right? So that's one of the great opportunities we should take recognition at the Caribbean Music Awards. That's a great opportunity as well. Hopefully that inspires more for our bouillon artists or practitioners to write more music and write better music. Actually, we have a unique opportunity now to write songs that are of a high standard that we can get airplay on major radio stations, because as it is, yes, we have certain local tastes that appeal to us locally, and I mean it does appeal. I have to admit it appeals to people around the world too, because I was in Raleigh just recently and a lot of music was playing, bouillon music from Dominica, and it plays at these events, private events and so on, but part of the huge revenue stream from music is radio airplay.
Yes.
And so we need to be able to tap into that. So that's one of the opportunities that we have. So if we create music that is of a standard that the radio station will play, and we're talking about major radio stations around the world, then we can tap into that as well. We can tap into the playlists that are popular from major platforms like BBC, etc., and Spotify as well. We can tap into licensing for music, for movies, for TV shows. There's so much opportunity. There's a lot that we can do. It's just we have to, as Barry says, we have to position ourselves, to take advantage of these opportunities. There's a guy named Leng. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's from Jamaica, and he has a vlog called Reggaeology.
Oh.
And he is very learned on the music industry. And he was pointing out that one of the key problems that Jamaican artists were having is that they have offers for major record deals, but then the record companies pull away when they find out the amount of complication they have to go through to sign these artists, because they are not set up, they're not positioned, they don't have the proper production contracts, they don't have the right things in place, so that when the opportunity arises, that they can actually just take full advantage of it. So that is, his name is Leng. He's a very, very great guy. If you look at on Instagram, you'll find him in Reggaeology, and he speaks a lot about that, but one of his videos are specifically about that, and I think that applies in the Dominican context as well. So if a major label wants to come and sign an artist who already has a catalog, a repertoire, they want to know that that catalog is protected, that catalog has the right authorizations, everything is in place, so that when they sign you, they're not going to encounter problems with third and fourth party claims left, right and center.
But you're quite correct, because I think aside from Sean Paul and Bob Marley, as big as Jamaican music is, I think they were the only two who got sizable contracts outside. Cecil had gotten something from Rockefeller, I believe, but nothing much happened. But aside from those two, not many of them actually got big contract deals from external record labels. So I see where you're coming from.
Right. Lang is, I mean, he's an eccentric guy. He's a producer himself, but he has a lot of insight into the industry. And that one struck me when he said that production contracts with the right splits, who owns what, is very important to these major labels and major, because they want to know exactly where they, what cut of the revenue they can actually get for themselves, and also what possible litigation could happen in the future. So they have to have these things. You have to have it organized, And so that is something we can take a cue from that, and realize that if we want to maximize access to these opportunities, we need to position ourselves.
I wanna dig deeper into the workshop itself, but before we move on to the workshop, how many major you just spoken it major labels we have here in Dominica?
We don't have major labels.
No, for the Dominican scene, do we have labels for like if Hassan? Okay, let me use myself. Like if I want to get into the singing thing, all right, people say your voice sounds so nice. Do you sing? And I have to laugh because. But let us say I decide I want to sing. Do we have labels, scouts that can say, you know what, I identify you have a good voice and we have these things in place? So they would already have the lawyer, they would have the accountant.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No.
We are way behind. That's what I'm saying. We don't have the system set up. set up that way. For example, I'll give you an example.
No.
I was trying to get a particular artist signed to a distribution company. So it's an international distribution company, and this artist is a very good not just very good, excellent artist, with views and everything, and they refused to sign that artist. And I was like, why? We are so small, our numbers are so tiny, you know,
Of course.
that these labels are like, ugh, they're not really paying attention unless you start doing something, which is, you know, like what ASA is doing now and so on. So we now, because we have such small numbers, it is better if we group ourselves together. Yeah, work together. And that is what the distribution company advised me, because I'm a member of that distribution company. And they said to me, well, you're already registered with us, so why don't you put this artist under your label? You understand? Because we already have an established business relationship with you. So if you put them under your label, we'll accept them, no problem. But individually, nah. They were not interested.
So a mentorship program with our artists who are doing better might actually help people who want to quote unquote burst.
This workshop is exactly this.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you straight up, we are making no money from this. Okay? This is basically we are paying off the costs. This is not like a venture where it's like, okay, it's a business venture in and of itself. This is really a contribution I would like to make to mentor the next generation of artists. I would like to be able to share the information that I have, because information was shared with me when I was coming up. That helped me to avoid many of the pitfalls that I see other artists are falling into. So I want to be able to return that favor to show, listen, there are some things you really need to know before you actually put yourself out there. And even if you're out there already, there are some things that you can learn that will help you correct certain mistakes that you've already made, you know. And so that information is going to go out there, and then it's going to lift the industry. And that is the purpose for doing the workshop. Otherwise, a workshop like this or that information should be maybe 3 days and should cost probably $5,000. But we want people to have the data. We want them to have the information. We want them to be able to apply that information to the benefit of the industry, because now is our time. Now is really our time. The timing of it is crucial, because we have an opening right now, and we need to make maximum use of that.
Okay, so tell me you just told me a few, but tell me 2 top things you really want to focus on during the workshop.
Rights. Rights. Right. So know your rights, who owns what, right? And contracts. Make sure before you sign anything, you understand what you're signing, what rights. You're going to have to give up some rights when you're signing a contract, because somebody's going to invest in you and pay for things. You have to reciprocate, right? So you have to understand what it is you can give, what it is you shouldn't give, the kinds of contracts you sign, kind of contracts you don't sign, how to protect yourself, how to protect your work, even for future generations, because copyright is something that can outlive you as the creator. Your children can still be collecting royalties when you're gone.
Yes.
So you have to be able to put these things in place. So those topics are essential. And copyright and publishing are kind of go hand in hand together. So, those topics are essential.
Mr. Casimir, we spoke about many, is not just an artist who is in the music industry. We spoke about all kind of different people. So tell me exactly who this workshop is for. Is it for the DJs, the bouyon artists, those who want to sing ballads, an accountant that want to branch into the music industry? I think that's a good thing now that we're hearing this. So tell me exactly who is this workshop for?
Okay, the workshop is really for people who who are in the music industry. So I'll be DJs, singers, writers, and people who want to enter the music industry. As you rightfully say, accountants, to know the whole, help artists in terms of getting the finances sorted out, and even the legal aspect of the music industry. So anybody who really want to enter the music industry, that workshop is tailored for you. People within the music industry, more than ever, because of how much the music industry has changed so much, we really need you all to enter that particular workshop. The workshop will be scheduled for the 26th of September. 28th of September, sorry. 28th of September, Saturday, 28th of September. And it will cost $85 for Association of Music Professionals members. And to the general public, it will be $100. Not much. As Mikhail rightfully say, we are basically giving back.
Yes. Okay. Oh, I thought you were going to give more information.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. But anybody who wants to enter the music industry, that course is for you. I even young artists within the high schools. I see a lot of talented artists within the high school setting. I would advise the parents to send them to, because they're in high school now and they have talent. If from a young age they know their rights and what they expect from the industry, it makes it easier when they leave high school if they want to move into that direction. You see, so we want everybody who want to be in music, we want them to do that workshop. We also want people who are in the music industry to actually do that workshop.
And I'd like to add to that. I think media professionals should actually participate in a workshop like this, because they are integral to the entertainment industry, and if they understand how it works, then they can better fulfill their roles as the presenters, of music, new work, creative works, and so on. People who are in marketing for companies, for example, marketing executives of the telephone companies, the companies who are all signing endorsement deals and contracts with artists now. This is also useful information for you, so you understand the role that you play. You understand what is expected of the artist, what's expected of you, and to DJs, to the people who write jingles, by the way, that is very important, because I think people seem to think, it's a jingle, it's a 15-second. Do you know that you can register your jingle and you can collect royalties every time your jingle plays on the radio? Yes. So there's a lot to unpack, like I said. And so anybody who is interested in creative industries, particularly industries that involve music creation or having to do business with people who are creators in music, you are invited to join this workshop. So there's enough there for everyone to learn, understand, and to be able to work together.
Okay, and where is the workshop going to be held?
At UE. The workshop's going to be held at UE, as Dr. Kazmi said, on the 28th of September. It is a Saturday. We're going to start at 8:30 in the morning. And it's going to pretty much be like an all-day affair. Please bring your lunch.
Walk with your snacks.
Walk with your, somebody actually Facebooked me and said, will there be snacks? Like, guys, listen. So please walk with your snacks and lunch. I think we can probably provide some water. But so it'll be several hours because there's a lot to cover. But we just want to make sure that at least when you leave the workshop that you have a comprehensive understanding of at least the fundamentals.
Yes.
And so you can build upon there when you go into another setting. When people start speaking the language, you actually understand some of the terminology and you can make a contribution to what they say, and you can advocate for yourself as well.
And hopefully there can be a hub from that.
Absolutely.
Yes, from that
Absolutely.
sitting.
I'm hoping that more people from this will actually join the Association of Music Professionals and also join societies like ECHO and SASEM and the societies who actually manage rights for music professionals. And because those societies are critical to the success of the industry. And so a lot of the issues that these societies have in the Caribbean is an issue of numbers. We don't have enough membership. And so we expect these societies to work like ASCAP and BMI in the United States, but they have hundreds and thousands of members. And so if we don't subscribe to these agencies, these organizations, then they don't have the numbers that allow them to work as effectively as they can. So it really is up to us, the creators, to bolster these organizations so that they function in our best interest.
Yes, so before I ask my final question, because we have another guest for the final 15 minutes of the show, just give us the information that we need for the workshop before I ask my final question.
Okay, so you could register at the UE Global Campus. You could register in person. You could come at the site and you could complete a registration form. Or you could go on our website, www.ue.open.edu, and you click on local programs, and you will see that particular course there, fundamentals of music business, and you apply for that course. You register for that course. As I said earlier, the cost for Association of Music Professionals members, it is $85. Anybody else, it will be $100. It's really not a big ask. What we really want to do is actually educate the population as relates to business, the music industry, and really push Dominica a bit forward. Because if you have more trained music professionals, you could see ripple effect. There's more. They can make more money out of it, and everybody around them can benefit one way or another. So we really want to push that particular workshop so that we can train more of the people within the art form, and they can do better moving forward.
Right. Do you have a phone number on there we want to share
Yes.
with the public?
You could call us also at 285-3482, and we could register you via phone, or you could WhatsApp us on that particular number, 285-3482. Either one can work.
All right, thank you. Okay, so the final question even before I go to my final question, Mr. Casimir, when you said that, it sounded like they're getting a little associate degree or a little diploma when you say go sign up for the course. So that in itself, I had that thought. But this morning, just having this talk with you, I keep thinking about all these young people or just people who are talented and feel like, I've been trying for so long, the music thing just so hard that there's no way, where do I get my tellings from? Where do I, I know we've had Mikkel on the show before and Auntie Ophelia, and she spoke about how, Auntie Ophelia spoke how she really took you under her wing. And, she just wanted to be a mentor. But we keep hearing young people saying they do not have that. They don't have anybody they can lean on. So this morning, I'm even surprised to hear there's an association.
Oh yeah.
Because
I think one of the key things really we must do, if I'm in the music industry, it is up to me to actually research about the area that I'm going into. So if I'm in music, it is up to me to find out who are the people who have made it in Dominica. Who do I attach myself with? Then I research as to what a business contract looks like, a recording contract looks like. I then research what distribution looks like. What are my rights as an artist? All of those things are things that we can do, particularly now. You Google those things and you get information. It may not particularly pertain to Dominica per se, but you have an idea what you're looking for. Once you have done that, then you get people within Dominica's setting and you ask questions, and then you move from there.
Yes.
Absolutely. And you can always reach out. I get requests from Facebook all the time. People go to Facebook and they just message me from my page or message my personal Facebook account and ask questions, and I share information. I never hold back the information. As long as I can help you, as long as it's something that I know about, then I would share the information. So I invite any artist from Dominica and everybody. I'm an open book. So the knowledge that I have garnered, it is not complete, I would say, in that there's always more to learn. But what I have experienced, what I have learned, what I have studied, I would like to share with all of you. So because if our industry does well, everybody does well, I feel like I do well as well. So for me, it's a matter of being there, being available, and so you just have to reach out. Really, you reach, and several people have. There's people who've reached out to me, just sent me an email. Hello, this is what I've come across. I've done this, that. Can you help me? And then I'll send them back a voice note. I said, okay, well, you've already done this way, but in future you really should do it. You know.
Okay, and finally, just one thing as we wrap up to go over to our next guest. What is just one thing in terms of sustainability in the music industry? What is just one thing that someone can do in their career so that they can have that long-term sustainability as an artist?
Well, I think we've touched on it already, is to secure your rights.
Secure your rights.
Yeah, that's what's going to ensure your longevity. You create as much as possible, and then you protect your work. And that's what keeps you as an artist. Look at Gordon Henderson. He's 70, I don't know how many years old, and he's still on tour because his work is iconic and it's protected. And so he continues to earn revenue from airplay and licensing and so on, and live performances as well. So there is potential for us to have very, very long careers in this industry, and to also leave an inheritance for our children. But we just have to put the right things in place.
All right, so thank you so much to our two
you.
guests today, Miss Mikkel Henderson and Dr. Barry Kazime. We were speaking about the music industry, but most importantly, a workshop that is being held at the University of the West Indies on September 28th, 2024. You can go ahead over to the University of the West Indies course page where you will be able to register for this particular workshop. Thank you so much for being our guest this morning. Two people who are quite knowledgeable in their field. Creole Heartbeat is always happy to be able to share these wins. This is a cultural win where our artists will be able to be guided, So thank you so much for being here with us this morning. And we're going to switch over after this beautiful song from Mikkel Henderson to our second guest that we're going to do a 10-minute interview with. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
So unsure what fate had for me in store. Shattered dreams and broken hearts left me helpless in the dark. My whole life seemed torn apart. But I looked myself in the eye, said, girl, you're not gonna cry. I think it's time you know the truth. You gotta say every day I am able and I am strong. I am beautiful and I belong. I can discern between right and wrong, 'cause I am woman. 'Cause I am woman.
Okay, so our next guest on Creole Heartbeat is a young entrepreneur making waves in the culinary world, particularly with her delicious cookies. Adaya Balthazar is a creative mind behind a growing cookie business, and she's here to share her journey, challenges, inspiration behind her unique treats. Let's welcome Adaya as she gives us a taste of what it takes to build a successful business in Dominica. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
I love your smile.
Thank you.
All
How
right.
are you?
I'm well. I am maybe 3 weeks no sugar. No. A kind of I should say processed sugars.
Mm-hmm.
So watching your cookie in front of me that says Snicker, which is my favorite chocolate, is not doing me good. But other than that, I'm good.
Okay, that's amazing.
Okay, so we don't have a lot of time, but I really wanted to highlight your work. I wanted to feature you because I ran into a very beautiful arrangement of cookies at an event I went to a few weeks ago. And I said, who is the creator behind this? And the lady said, my daughter. She was so proud to say my daughter, but let me show you this one and that one. So Creole Heartbeat really wants to let our nation know what a young person is doing. So just tell us a little bit about the genesis of your business, how you started making the cookies, and yeah, we can go from there.
Okay, no problem. So, again, my name is Adaya Baltaza, and I own The Bake Tat. That is a gourmet cookie company. It is an online cookie company as well, based in Canefield. We have been open since April of last year, but I have been doing this full time since September. So this month gives it official year of me doing this business full time.
Ah, congratulations.
Thank you so much. So as I said, we are an online cookie company, so we're a little bit different that way. So we have our website, and we are an order-based company, so we go based on our orders. Yes, so we have different cookies
Yeah,
available.
I'm going to get to that. Trust me. I just want to rub in the Snicker.
No problem. Yes. So we are very I would say very modern type of company. So we have a strong we have a strong following on Instagram, TikTok,
Yes.
Facebook. We just hit 1,000 followers on Facebook. So thank you so much to everyone who has followed. I really appreciate you guys. And one thing I always say about my business, even just being in business for only a year, I wouldn't have gotten this far if it wasn't for the amazing customers that I have. So I really want to just take this time to say thank you to every single person who has ever supported my business in any way, big or small. I truly appreciate you guys. So I honestly always say my customers are my business, you know.
Yes.
So even in everything that we do, I do try my best to always make sure my customers feel like they're appreciated, and to make sure that I'm giving back, whether it's through a giveaway. I might decide to do a random flash sale, discounts, different things.
How old are you?
I am 24.
Okay, you speak like you've been doing entrepreneurship years now. You sound like you did a crash course, or you know that's very. I love to hear it. I love when especially young women sound this way. Okay, so tell me the different flavors of cookies that you have. But before you do, there's a Thea Lafont inspired cookie. So as a young Dominican woman, tell me what it felt like to know that you can make a cookie based on someone who achieved something so great for us.
Yes, so I actually, every time I even hear her name, I just think back to the exact moment we were all sitting in the living room, and the news broke that she won the gold medal, and I was like, we're going to do something. We are going to celebrate this. And that very day, I believe, that night, we released it to a box, and that box is actually still available on our website. It's available right now, so that is a limited edition box. You get 5 cookies as well as either an 18-karat gold-plated necklace or bracelet, and that is $20, as well as the limited.
That's the cookie looking like a.
It's a cookie box, the
Okay.
Thea box.
No, when you say gold-plated necklace, or I'm just trying to make sure it is a cookie that look like a.
It is actual gold you can wear, so everybody has this. She got our gold, we get our gold.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, well, I don't want the sweetness, but I want the gold.
Right. Right. So
Okay.
So you get that, and then also the cookie that has everybody talking, including
Yes.
Tia. So she shared it on Instagram. She actually reposted the cookie, the flyer for the cookie on Instagram on her personal Instagram account. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my goodness, she actually saw it. Oh my god. And I was like, she was actually on island at that point.
Yes.
And I was like, I need to meet her. How can we make this happen? And so I am honestly really grateful that I did get an opportunity to meet her and her husband. They are amazing people.
Yes.
And I'm happy that I got to share with them the cookies. She loves them. And I'm really grateful for that.
There is hope that I can eat cookies and still look fit.
Yes.
Okay, so we have the first one, my fave. I haven't tasted them, people, but Snicker is my fave. I don't eat chocolate except for Snicker or really, really dark chocolate. So this is the first one, Snicker. I know the people on the Facebook wants to see. And so just tell us a little bit about this. Do you have the actual Snicker bar taste to this cookie?
Okay, so our Snickers cookie is actually released today. So yes.
You knew you were coming to see me.
Yes.
Wow, the trap.
That
the
is
trap.
absolute fate right there.
Okay.
So Snickers cookie is a chocolate chip cookie that has real Snickers pieces in it. So if you look at it,
I see it.
I
see it.
Give it a close up. It has real Snickers pieces chopped up and mixed into the dough, as well as it is stuffed with caramel as well. So so that is our current stuffed cookie. We go for a lot of different stuffed cookies. So we have had Nutella stuffed, cream cheese stuffed, our recent and most popular. It keeps selling out, and people are constantly on me for it. Our s'mores cookie that's stuffed with marshmallow fluff. And that should be in stock by this weekend or next week. So look out for that on our website, guys. So.
Okay, we have cookie butter.
Yes, so that is another stuffed cookie. It is a white chocolate chip cookie with Biscoff. So that is a type of like nutty, but it has no nuts in it. It's not like peanut butter, but it's a type of nutty, really addictive butter, brown butter that we put in there, and it's stuffed. So if you break it open, you will see.
I think all your cookies are addictive. I don't know where to try. And if you look, you see it actually fits the palm of my hand. It's actually really, really big. And I want to show you the other one. Let's move on before. Chocolate chip. Of
Yes.
course, everyone knows chocolate chip. It is a staple when you talk about cookies. And then this is one we just spoke about, cream and cookies and cream. No, we didn't speak about that one. There's cookies and cream also. And I don't think she has all the... You don't have all your flavors today.
No, I
because
didn't
I've seen
bring
some.
them.
Okay.
Yes.
And white chocolates. So as she said, you can find her on social media. There's a big platform there. Did you have any baking background before you decided to get into cookies?
So I always baked from the time I was small. I always loved being in the kitchen and baking specifically. I was never formally taught, although I would absolutely love to, go to a school or take some specific classes for that. But as it currently stands, everything I've learned by myself.
Oh.
And during COVID, it was when everybody actually picked up baking, and people would make like a banana bread, a pizza. We at home, nothing else we can do.
Yes.
So I actually started doing that as well. And that was when I was working at Creole Harbor. And so shout out to everybody at Creole Harbor who still supports me and my business. And people, I started selling it then. People were like, you need to keep doing this. And so I did. And so last year I decided to actually branch out and do it more. And right now we're
loving it
full time.
Do you have a slogan?
Experience the difference. Yes, so the name of the company is D Bake That. So
Yes,
a lot of
I was
people do
just
call
gonna
me
say that.
D.
Uh-huh.
And then our slogan is Experience the Difference. So we truly do aim to bring a different experience to Dominica. And it's a lot of different ways, for just literally what we do, our customer service, our online platform, everything that my company does. We do try to bring an elevated, luxurious
Innovative.
experience.
And I find it's innovative, and not just because of the social media presence, but it's innovative. Like just today she had a pop-up. Like how many young businesses do you see doing pop-ups? So if you missed it on social media, she'll bring it to you on the streets of Roseau.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's innovative, and that's showing that you are immersed into your business.
We're heading there right now, actually, right after this.
Yes.
So we are going to be outside of Jolly's Pharmacy, the Jolly's Pharmacy that is leading out of town. Right next to it, there is a yellow building, so you can catch me there in about 15 minutes. So if you are watching this right now or listening to this and you would like to try some cookies for yourself and you're in town, swing by. I would love to serve you.
All right. So people like you are the people we want to have on Creole Heartbeat. And, we're grateful to see that young people are elevating, and they are becoming entrepreneurs, and successfully so. And not just doing it for the finances, but also finding ways to put Dominica within it. The fact that you showed Thea Lafont through your baking, just that level of innovation alone was great for me. But the fact that you could incorporate that, is there anyone, we out of time now, but is there anyone you want to say thank you to? Because of course I know as an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur, there have to be people within your journey that you want to say thank you to. Mr. Technician, sorry, I'm seeing that a lot of our people on Facebook are saying they're not hearing, they need some volume. But so is there anyone you want to say thank you to?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my number one person has always been in my corner, of course, is my mother.
Yes.
My mother. So I owe my mother everything. My mother and my father, they both were my adopted father. They both, they absolutely have been my pillars, and I am really, really grateful for them. So thank you to you guys, as well as Dr. Kimon Joseph. She was actually the person who gave me that final kick to actually start my business, and I am really, really grateful to her for that. And most of all, I am grateful to, again, I cannot say it enough, every single customer. I am honestly always humbled by people even choosing me. People, sometimes people come up to me and they say, hey, you're the cookie lady, you're this and that. I'm like, people know me, like I am I am always so grateful and so humbled for every
Yes.
person who follows us, every person who has chosen to buy my cookies, every person who shares our posts, everything. Thank you so much to you guys. I am eternally grateful to all of you.
Okay, and just remind everyone where they can find you on social media, the name, and how they can find you.
Absolutely. So our telephone number, so WhatsApp is 615-3555. Again, our WhatsApp number is 615-3555. As well as you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at the letter D, Baked, BAKED, that, THAT. So D Baked That on Instagram and Facebook. And there you can also find a link to our website. So our website is via Take App. So it is take.app/D Bake That.
Do you know Jokam Karam?
No, I
Well,
don't.
I think you have a new fan. do you oh, by the way, this is
This is all logo.
the logo, yes.
Yeah.
Do you ship overseas?
Not currently.
Not currently. Okay, so we're going to look into that.
Not yet.
So Wadix and Gordon Henderson, Mr. Gordon Henderson, remember for independence, we want to give our charge that we can have an independent cookie. A Creole Heartbeat independent cookie.
Sure.
I would love to see that.
Absolutely.
All right. And how many years we're celebrating this year for independence?
What is something? You make them beat me.
I think Hassan is saying, but it's what, 49, 40,
40
it's not 50.
No,
Is
it's
it
not
50?
not
No.
50 yet.
I was hoping that we could have a golden cookie there also. But thank you so much for being here with us this morning. And we are grateful. We will find a way that you can have it shipped. And we know it's a Creole season. A lot of our diaspora is going to be in, and they want to taste the cookies. Okay, so 46 years. So we have 4 more years before you can make another golden cookie on behalf of Dominica. So, yeah, the diaspora who wants to have the cookies, when you come in for independence, you can have her cookie, or you can have somebody bring it up for you. You know,
Absolutely.
because they bring it up. So instead of saying bring up the cocoa and the bay leaf, this time they bring up a DB cookie for me.
The cookies. And
Okay.
again, our cookies are
Alright.
sealed and packaged. These are how
Yes.
they come, so you can travel with them. We're also located for pickup in Canefield, directly on the road on the way to the airport. So you can just stop till the taxi, one oil, and run up the stairs and grab some and get on your way. So
Alright.
absolutely, I would love to serve them. And look out for some independence flavor. I said the Snickers. The Snickers was dropped today, so we're always dropping new flavors. Absolutely, for the independent season, look out for some local-based, some fruity, local-based flavors as well. I'm absolutely really excited for that.
Okay. I'm excited for that. So the next time you will be back, and as I said, I'm giving you a charge because we need to speak about the non-sugar, the vegan. We need to talk about this. It's lovely when you have a business that's as innovative as yours, that has a wide variety, even for people like me who's trying to do no sugar or trying to do vegan, So I know you'll get there. I have a lot of faith in you. I just saw Gordon Henderson say that you are definitely going to be a success.
Thank
and from a
you.
successful man like that, you should definitely take it as a precursor for what your life is going to look like. So thank you everyone for tuning in to Creole Heartbeat today. I am your host today, Julie Roberts. Wadix is out and about. He's shappy on us, but the show must go on. So until next time, thank you for being here with us. We had Michael Henderson and Dr. Barry Casimir this morning talking about the music industry and a workshop that will be held on September 28th over at the UWI campus, where it is geared towards people in the music industry. So if you want to be an artist, whether a singer, you want to be a composer, you want to be anything in the entertainment business, go onto the UWI website and see how you can register. Then we now have the owner of D-Bake That sitting here in studio with us, showing off her delicious cookies. She will be at outside of Jolly's next, and you can also pass in town and see if you can purchase. And the prices are really good, I must say. It was just like $5. I got from the night when I got
The jumbo cookies are $5.
the jumbo, and these are jumbo cookies.
Yes,
Yes, just
the one the size of your
five
hands.
Eastern Caribbean dollars.
Yes.
So you can just pass outside of Jolly's and meet up with her. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And remember, don't forget to love. Have a great day.
Faut nous connaître, toi et yo, Akumas Makadas Music.